Hey, what's up everybody? Lucas Barbosa the Hulk, and here's one more episode of Smash Kitchen. Don't forget to subscribe on the channel, give us a like and share. Alright, let's go. We're gonna do one more pizza. And today we're here in Hong Kong and we have a very special guest. He's a jiu-jitsu brown belt and also a chef. Very honor for me to call Nate Green here. My man, thanks for coming.
I'm good, man.
This guy, he's like one of the top chefs here in Hong Kong, and he's actually a real black belt in the kitchen.
Yeah, I think maybe.
Such an honor to have you here.
Thank you, brother.
We're gonna be teaching me how to make the pizza.
You're teaching me how to make it. I taught you the steak. You're going to teach me the pizza.
It was good. It was a really good steak. Last time I came here, he made this like premium steak, amazing. Oh my god, I still remember to this day, man. The best.
Yeah, man.
Let's go then. Let's go. Let's go. All right, here we go. So we're gonna start nice and simple. Just gonna bring the dough to the table, right? This is like a different dough for me. I usually make Napolitan.
Yeah, Napolitan style.
Napolitan style.
Yeah.
This is like a New Haven style, right? New York pizza. So I'm gonna roll. Usually I do with my hands. You know, my beautiful hands. That's how I usually do.
Indentations.
Right?
Like, yeah.
Do you make pizza a lot? Like what?
I make it at home with the kids. So my little ones love pizza. So we have the pizza stone in the oven, and we play around with dough mixers. I'd say do the same. I do more like a Neapolitan dough and stretch it with the fingers. But yeah, it's a great activity to do with the little ones.
Right.
They love making pizza.
Yeah, this is one of the things that I actually started doing with my family. That's why I started actually getting into the pizza, because you know it's a good time of like, you know, bringing people in, family, and I just
it's
like
a little bit messy.
Yeah,
the kids eat it afterwards, which is
I know
great. They're eating something fresh.
It is a work. It is a work, but it's, you know, at the end of the day, like it's good like to see all the family come around. Everybody's, I mean, you know, like
cooking's a way of showing people love, right? Love and affection.
Yeah.
Some people like smashing people on the jiu-jitsu mats to do it. Some people like doing it in the kitchen. So
that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's the mentality. Look at this man. You're a chef, right?
Yeah.
You're one of the top chefs here in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
When did you start cooking? When was like this passion for cooking came?
My whole family always cooks. They're not chefs, but they always cooked. Always home cooked meals at home. You know, mum and dad cooked all the time. So they're pretty good cooks. And then at 14, I wanted to make money, so started working in pubs, washing up and that sort of thing, and then waiting on tables, then cooking. And I didn't particularly like school, so my parents encouraged me to think about other careers. I wanted to join the military, but I can't. I'm deaf in one ear, so I'm not allowed. And so the kitchen was the next best thing, and they really supported that. And so my career really went from there. And like anything for me, I always want to be the best at what I do. So you know, I worked in really top kitchens. I worked for really top chefs. And really that's how my career progressed, you know, like, yeah, it's like in jiu-jitsu, you train with the best guys, you're going to get good. Yeah. You train with the best guys, you put the time in, you put the effort in the kitchen, you're going to get good. So,
amazing.
You know, of course a bit of talent's needed in some areas, but you know, there's a lot of similarities. That's why I always think that jiu-jitsu really appeals to chefs. Yeah. You know, I know Bourdain, he made it quite big with it, but like very technical, and the small details matter a lot. And just very disciplined as well, very disciplined approach. So.
Do you have like influence like on big names? I trained Galvão, that's how one of the guys that helped me got better as well. Caporal too, but you know, you got like in the kitchen.
I work for some of the best guys in the UK. Most of the chefs I work for, you would have ranked them in the top 10 chefs in the country.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? So my previous job here is a 3 Michelin star chef. You know, you always look up to your peers, and you know, I come from a stable of guys that have all gone on to do really well with Michelin stars and things like that. So you know, it shows when you work for someone good. You know, it passes down in the craft. You know, trickles down the line. You know, you have like a tree effect. You know, the guys I was working for, like the Gordon Ramsay equivalents, you know, Gordon Ramsay's peers, Gordon Ramsay's generation. I never worked for Gordon himself, but the people I was working with were the same level as Gordon. A lot of them worked with Gordon when he was young, you know, so they're friends.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing.
It's cool. It's a really cool thing. I think it's like I say, it's like jits when you see a community of guys go from white to black belt together.
Yeah.
You know, like I started over 20 years, nearly 20 years ago doing jiu-jitsu, and I was a white belt for 12 years. 12 years? Just no consistency with work and whatever, and it's really funny when I got to like 12 years of white belt, I was just getting my blue. I look around, like all the guys I started with are all like first degree black belts. Like, man, like how much of just of that just on and off time with doing it. So.
Man, that's amazing.
And that's the thing with jits is consistency, right? And same as cooking. Cooking's consistency. You go in, you do the same things every day, and you get better. It's systematic. I think when you understand building things systematically, it's the same. And you know, you practice an arm bar 100 times, you go get good at an arm bar. Yeah. A few thousand times, you go be even better at it. So you chop an onion 100 times, you chop it 1,000 times, you just get better and better at it, right? So cooking is lots of simple things, simple jobs done really well. And I think jiu-jitsu is very similar to that. Everything you're doing is foundational, just done really, really well. And then when you get to a higher level and you start adding in your Barbolos and all your maybe more complicated stuff, and only certain people are going to be able to do that really well. Yeah. It's like fine dining, only certain people are going to be able to do fine dining really well. So for me, I started in fine dining, and then I started to do more simple food because I just prefer doing simple
the basics.
Food. I prefer it rather than trying to do lots of fancy stuff. I don't really like fancy stuff. It's not me. And it's the same with my jiu-jitsu game. My jiu-jitsu game is smash and pass. It's nothing fancy, but it works. That's amazing because you know it's the same thing. Nothing fancy, because but like it works. I'm a beginner making pizza or cooking as well, but I like cooking. But you know, like you always want to make, I don't know, you want to make that pasta carbonara with all this stuff. Like it is cool, but man, I think if you start like just like cooking them the regular pasta, you think because that's already a beginning, knowing how the points of the noodles. Everyone goes through the same thing, right? I mean, you try and overdo things. Like in jiu-jitsu, we overdo things when we're at lower belt levels, right? You make things overly complicated. And actually, like for me, as I get older as a chef, things get more simple. I take more things out because I don't need to hide things in it. Like for me, I want to make it really well, but I want you to taste all the ingredients properly, and I don't want to hide anything. Yeah, that's a good mentality, man. Dude, just do the main focus foundation. Do the foundation. Get the foundation. Yes. And then you see, guys, jiu-jitsu is for life, not only in the kitchen, but like, you know, a lot of people like, oh no, jiu-jitsu, but also in the kitchen, because a lot of people think like, yeah, I have to just like, I have to learn being bold. Like, man, chill. It's like, learn the foundations first, you know, and after you go for it's what works for you. You can be great. I'm a chef, right? But pizza's not my forte. Like I like doing it, but it's not my specialize. Or I don't specialize in sushi, or what? You know what I mean? Like you can be a specialist in a style of jiu-jitsu. In the same way, I'm more of a specialist at say steak cookery or fire cookery or butchery. That's what I specialize in. So you can be all round at things as well. Like I'm a pretty all round chef, but I think it's the same with the jiu-jitsu game as well. Let's put this pizza. You want something else here? Well, I think that's good, man. How did you like? Oh my God, I'm gonna start doing jiu-jitsu. No, I got into it because at night when I used to get home from work on cable TV, they used to show the UFC. I started getting into it. It was just on. And like, oh, the grappling's so boring, right? And I started watching and started to really get into the grappling. And I'm like, man, I want to learn to do jiu-jitsu. I got tired of watching. I was like, I want to try. But you're talking 2005. In 2005 in London, there was one Carlson gym. A couple of Hodja had 2 gyms. So I ended up training with the Hodja. I used to train with Hodja and London Shoot Fighter. So I split my time between the two because London Shoot did a lot of no-gi and MMA. So I wanted to do MMA. I wanted to get into MMA. So I started with Hodja. I used to do Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu with Hodja. And then I went to Shoot Fighter in the afternoon and do Muay Thai and do MMA. Oh yeah, so but you're trying like go for real, just like a practice scene, just practicing and look, try to be a professional. No, I really liked it, and I got to 28, and I was like, I had no debt, I had no nothing. I was like, man, I just want to try this. Maybe go to Thailand or something, right? And then my jiu-jitsu, my MMA coach was like, dude, you'll be an okay guy, but you're never going to be a professional. You're never going to be UFC level, and if you're not going to be UFC, no. But it was grassroots back in those days, man. I got to roll with GSP, I got to roll with Matt Hughes, I got to do sessions with Chuck Liddell. Like proper old school, like guys were coming through, because in London there's only a couple of gyms where these guys, when they were passing through, they could go train. So actually the guy that owned our gym,
and before, like the community was to be really small, like now everywhere you go,
I remember we started with 12 white belts on the mat, and a year later there's 70 in a tiny little space, right? So it's interesting how the scene's changed a lot. I mean, jiu-jitsu now is massive in the UK. I've got a lot more friends that do it. I mean, even for us, we
it's a little burnt.
Black is beautiful, baby.
Black is Alright, let's try first here. Let's see how it's going to be
good, I'm sure it's going to be the middle's amazing.
Well, hot. I want to know what rate you give to my pizza now.
We'll be rolling tomorrow. We'll be rolling tomorrow at the 10.
Good answer.
Very good. Very nice. You know, for me, jiu-jitsu really saved me. I went through a stage where I lost my business and I was suicidal and it wasn't good. I put on loads of weight. I went from 80 kg to 120 kg. Wow. Drinking loads, business went downhill, just had a second kid, and everything got really dark place. And to snap myself, something happened basically, and my daughter snapped me out of that. And I realised I needed to change something and get back into jiu-jitsu. Like when I did jiu-jitsu before, it was the thing that kept me very focused. Martial art kept me very focused. And so I would say it saved my life. Like it really saved my life in that regard, because it gave me this community of people that cared about me outside of my professional life. And it gave me the structure, it gave me the discipline. Like any time in my life, in the last 6 years, if I get down, first thing my wife asks, are you going to jiu-jitsu? Are you training? Are you training? Well, she knows it's the structure. Even I've been going through a rough time recently, and I'll see, hey, come to the gym, come to the gym. Don't be drinking, come on, come to the gym. Drinking's not going to help. Come do training, come train.
You think that jiu-jitsu at this point helped you in a positive way?
100%. It helped fix me a lot, you know. So for me, it's something I recommend to a lot of people get into. Like I've got mates when they go, I go, hey, come jits, do something different. For me, it's the meeting the other people. I love all the people I meet at jiu-jitsu. I don't have to talk about work all the time. I don't have to It's sharing a different passion with people.
Now, guys, it's the time for the chef, the black belt.
No pressure. Black belt, not in pizza. White belt in pizza. White belt one strike, maybe.
I'm curious. Look at this. Chef's pizza.
Weird shape, but it looks more like an elephant's ear. But
does the shape actually matter?
Authenticity. You know? Yeah. I think it's just all about the flavour, man.
It's all about the flavour, huh?
Get flavour first, and then worry about how something looks afterwards.
There you go. Pepperoni.
Just pepperoni, little bit chili, mozzarella, and tomato. Simple.
That's what you actually.
I'm a pepperoni kid. I love pepperoni. Give me pepperoni pizza all day long.
Oh my god.
That's my jam.
Man, that's amazing. Let's try the pizza then.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes.
Go.
Let's get the nose.
You first this time. You first.
Yeah, no, it looks good. Like the bottom.
Maybe a little bit longer. Maybe a touch longer.
Boy. You can't eat the crust in this one. You could have eaten on mine.
Yeah.
My crust was like amazing. My man.
Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for teaching me to make pizza.
I appreciate your time.
The black belt way.
That was an honor having a chef, a black belt here in the kitchen, doing the pizza with me. Just like this guy in jiu-jitsu, you know. He's like, man, I'm chefing, I'm black belt and all this stuff, but in pizza I'm kind of new. But you know, it's like we're always able to learn things, you know.
Evolution.
Evolution, right? Evolve. The jiu-jitsu is the same, you know. And amazing to know your story, you know, how jiu-jitsu worked into your life, and you know, all the best.
It's a great thing, man.
You know, it was amazing. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, you know, leave a comment, a like, and thanks for
come see me if you're in Hong Kong, yeah?
Yeah, come check this guy out. Appreciate it, brother.